Hi everybody, it's Lynn here. How are y'all doing? It's been a while. I hope you're all well wherever you are. Today we're going to work on 3 quick fix areas in English pronunciation. If you can make just a few simple changes in your pronunciation, you'll sound a lot more like a native speaker. Why don't you go ahead and subscribe down below while we're thinking about it. Now, if you have a way to record yourself, like using the recording device on your phone, and can watch this video on the computer at the same time, it would be really helpful, because listening to yourself and being able to compare your pronunciation with a native speaker is really important. If you can't do that, you can just stop the video from time to time so that you can repeat what you hear and what you see. The first problem is that some non-native speakers put extra sounds between the words when they speak. Look at this little phrase. Black stinky smoke. Some non-native speakers may pronounce it something like this: black stinky smoke. They put an extra eh between the consonants because in their language they use a lot of vowels between consonants, and we don't always do that in English. Let's do 3 sentences. I'll put the sentence up on the screen first, and then you read it aloud, record it if you're able to do that, and then I'll pronounce it, and you can compare your pronunciation with mine. Draw a big square on that straight line. Draw a big square on that straight line. Now, did you have problems with big square and straight line, that straight line? Here's another sentence. The public school is on Mark Street near the old train station. The public school is on Mark Street near the old train station. Mark Street, train station. Don't put any extra sounds in between. Here's our final sentence for that group. Texas is the 2nd largest state in the United States. Texas is the 2nd largest state in the United States. At home, a good way to practice your pronunciation is to read sentences out of English books. Your school books will do. And record yourself at the same time. Then go back and listen. This is one place that you can check. Are you making those extra sounds between the words? Now let's look at another problem. Look at this little phrase. Yes, it's yellow. The problem here is that some non-native speakers mispronounce the Y sound in English. Remember that the Y sound in English starts with E. So, yes, yellow. The tongue never touches the roof of our mouth. Yes, not Jess, but yes. Notice the name Jesse in English. We touch the tongue to the roof of our mouth. But if we say, yes, Jesse, we have two different sounds. Yes, Jesse. Now, let's do 3 sentences again, just like before. And if you can record yourself and then compare, all the better. Yes, you are very young to be a university student. Yes, you are very young to be a university student. Notice that with some words that begin with U, we also get the Y sound, like in university. A second sentence. You need 2 egg yolks for your yellow cake. You need 2 egg yolks for your yellow cake. And one last sentence. Help yourself to this unique, yummy yogurt. Help yourself to this unique, yummy yogurt. Now for the last problem area that we're going to work on today. Look at this short sentence. Roger Rabbit ran. The problem here is with the R sound in English. In English, we don't roll the R's. In fact, a lot of us, including me, have difficulty doing it. When we produce the R in English, the tongue, again, just like the Y sound, doesn't touch the roof of our mouth. Our tongue does go back, but it doesn't touch, and it certainly doesn't roll. Let's practice some sentences. Robert raises red roses in round barrels. Robert raises red roses in round barrels. Now notice in English, even if we have a double R, it's just pronounced like one R. Not 2, just 1. So barrels. Another sentence. Ramona realized she had the correct answer. Ramona realized she had the correct answer. Now, the next phrases contain some words that maybe you might say are not English. But when we pronounce them in English, we pronounce them in English. So, if you're speaking English and you use these words, you're probably going to want to sound like a native speaker. So let's look at these phrases. Burros and red squirrels. Burritos and margaritas. Burros and red squirrels. Burritos and margaritas. Yeah, I know I gave you a pretty hard word there, squirrels. But also, did you remember not to put eh in front? So, red squirrels? Not red squirrels, but red squirrels. So, if you can understand these differences in pronouncing English from the way you might have been pronouncing some of these words and sounds, you can make a big difference in your speaking. Go back and practice again. And I hope you've seen my other pronunciation videos and have used them to improve your English as well. If you have questions about the sounds that we've used in this particular video, or maybe questions about pronunciation, put those in the comments down below and I'll answer them for you. And if you can, give this video a like down below. I really appreciate you watching. Come back soon.